Is your child producing echolalia, or are they repeating the questions that you're asking rather than responding and giving an answer? If so, today's video is for you. We're going to talk about 5 strategies that you can incorporate into your everyday activities that will help to reduce echolalia. Coming up. Okay, so welcome back. Today we're going to dive in and talk about 5 hands-on strategies that you can be incorporating into your everyday routine if you're seeing echolalia. I want to give a shout out. This video idea actually came from one of you. When I ask you for video ideas and questions or concerns that you have, I'm very serious. And this was a question or concern that came from a parent. And so I kind of changed my video schedule and we're getting this one out today, hopefully to help you guys. And so seriously, if you have questions or concerns about your kiddo, please put them down in the comments below. And I truly do take those very seriously, and we'll try to reach out and help you as much as I can. So don't be shy. Put your questions or shoot me an email. And I really want this to be a place where you can get your questions answered. If you show up every week and listen to the topics that I want to talk about, that may or may not be very helpful for you. So be sure you're engaging with this community and let me know how I can help you more. Okay, so today, like I said, we're going to be talking about 5 strategies you can do to help decrease or minimize echolalia. So what is echolalia? We're going to talk about that first. It is basically just this echoing or repeating of the questions, typically, rather than giving an answer or rather than responding. For example, if you were to say, would you like milk or juice? Rather than making a choice, they would say milk or juice. Okay, or you'd say, do you want to go outside? And rather than saying yes or nah, they might say, go outside. Right, so they're responding to your question, not with an answer, but by just repeating the words that you say. This is a characteristic that a lot of times we see in kiddos who are on the autism spectrum, but it's not solely reserved for those kiddos. Clinically, I also see these characteristics. I also see this echolalia sometimes with kids who have receptive language difficulties or difficulties understanding language. Right? So if I ask them a question, do you want juice or milk? They may think, okay, juice or milk, right? Like they're trying to think what was the question, and they're almost rehearsing it back, almost kind of like a repetition for the sake of processing more. Okay, juice or milk? Juice or milk? I want milk, right? And so you might hear it for that. You might also hear it kind of as a space holder or a time holder. So for example, if the conversation is moving quickly and they know they're supposed to respond, but they need a little bit more time, they might repeat the question as just a way to buy some time or to put some space in between the question and their answer. So receptive language difficulties could also be an indicator that shows up in this echolalia. The other concern that you might be noticing would be an expressive language delay, and that can also sometimes play out in this echolalia. Again, if a child's trying to answer your question, they've heard your conversations with your spouse or with your friends, and they know there's this back and forth, this reciprocity. You say something, I say something. You say something, so they've learned that script. But they don't know yet how to formulate their response or how to create a sentence that would be appropriate for the conversation. So a lot of times you'll hear them kind of, again, echoing back because they don't really know what else to say. They know they're supposed to say something, but they don't know yet how to formulate that. So whether it's a child on the autism spectrum, a child with receptive language difficulties, or expressive language difficulties, all 3 of these can produce echolalic behavior. All 3 of those, and anytime you see echolalia, you're gonna want to enlist the help of a pediatrician, and by all means, enlist the help of a speech language pathologist, right? So we did a video recently on 7 steps you can take if you are concerned. So you're going to want to, by all means, follow those steps and dive in and get your kiddo as much help outside as you can. These videos are one piece of the puzzle. They are meant to supplement and certainly not meant to take the place of formal language therapy. So if you're seeing echolalia, by all means, get some help. Okay, so let's dive into some of these strategies. The first one is just direct teaching. It's basically just teaching the child the rules of I ask the question, you answer. Several programs do it differently. You can incorporate a no repeating and then ask your question again. No repeating, ask your question again. Or if you want to do a more positive spin, you can say, you answer. Mommy asks the question, you answer. Do you want to go outside? Yes, please. Right? You answered. Try it again. Do you want to go outside? And wait for them to respond. So it's a direct teaching of this rule that when someone asks a question, you answer the question rather than repeating. Okay? Another thing you can do, the second strategy, is to incorporate some physical prompts, some physical touches. Maybe touch their leg or touch your shoulder. It's mommy's turn. I'm going to ask the question, do you want to go outside? Yes, please. You answer, right? So you're physically drawing attention to the fact that it's my turn, it's your turn. It's my turn, it's your turn. You can even use their hand. It's my turn to answer, and you ask the question, it's my turn to answer, that type of thing where you're incorporating those physical prompts. You can also use just a finger point. So you could say, do you want to go outside? Yes. Do you want to go outside? Yes. Do you want to go outside? And you wait. And you look your face, you're happy, you're waiting with anticipation, and have them hopefully fill in the yes. Okay, so those are both ways that you can incorporate some physical or even tactile or touch cues to help them understand this process. Okay, so the third thing is that you can elicit the help of either the other parent or your partner or even an older sibling. I don't know about you, when my kids, I have like a 5.5-year gap between my first two are close together, but then between my second and my third, there's quite a gap. And for my little one, when she came along, there was a lot of doing for. Right? The two olders love to do for their little sister. They love to help her. They love to talk for her. They love to get her things without her having to talk, right? And so we want to minimize that as much as possible, and we want to bring those siblings into the therapy process. We want to be able to say, hey, we're working on Johnny's ability to ask for milk. I know you can ask, you're a good asker, but we need to work to get Johnny to ask. Can you help me with that, right? And bring them into the therapy process. And in a few minutes, I'm going to incorporate my kiddos to show you a little bit more of what that might look like. But you would want to incorporate your spouse, incorporate your partner, incorporate a friend, just so that you can kind of model that back and forth, that reciprocity. And it's a lot easier to do that when you have an actual physical person where you're kind of joining one with your child, and you guys are a communication partner as one with the other person being your communication partner. And again, I think the video here in a little bit will explain that a little bit further, okay? So the fourth thing you can do is you're going to want to incorporate some picture exchange, or even sometimes the actual object exchange, and you incorporate this into the requesting, okay? So you have your partner, your communication partner, you're with your child. He says, do you want milk or juice? You have a picture of milk and you have a picture of juice, and you say, oh, you answer, you tell, let's tell brother, let's tell daddy, I want milk or I want juice. And again, it's just another physical way incorporating all the senses, right? So we're talking about it, we're watching, we're speaking, and we're actually physically handing this picture, and we're going to use that and incorporate that into the exchange. Again, there's an entire system of picture exchange that you can talk to a speech pathologist about, but I don't even know that at this point I'm discussing that particular program, right? I'm just talking about the idea of incorporating as much as we can physically to teach this idea of reciprocity, this idea of he has something I want, I have to do something, I have to say something, I have to give something in order to make that happen, in order to make that exchange. And picture exchange is a good way way to do that. But again, you're going to want to consult your speech pathologist to find out if that idea is something they're excited about, or if maybe they even have a different idea. Okay, so guys, number 5, this is what I call kind of the rule of threes, okay? And it goes back to our video when we were talking about the self-talk and parallel talk and expansions. It's just another kind of add-on to that strategy. As you're working with your communication partner, and rather than, repeating the answer, we're trying to get our child to say, nope, you answer. Let's give him an answer. Say, I want milk. We don't want the child to get stuck with, I want, right? We want to, from the beginning, model variability and model flexibility in their language and in the repertoire of all of this ability to ask multiple ways, right? Think about a typical language learner. They may say, I want. They may say, can I have? They may say, may I have milk? They may say, I need some milk, more milk, please. Sometimes you may have a kiddo that just runs up and says, Mom, I'm thirsty, right? And it's kind of the more subtle way to say, I need a drink, and of course you follow up with that. Well, how do you ask nicely, right? But we want to, from the beginning, model a variety of requests, a variety of sentence structures for our children, so that they don't just only hear, I want, right? Even if the bar is set at I want, or if the bar is set at a two-word production of milk, please, or water, please, or even a single word, water, right? Wherever the bar is set, we want to affirm that, right? So we know in our mind, okay, when she says 2 words, when she says milk, please, she's going to get milk, right? But as I'm giving her the milk, I want to affirm her answering the question by saying, nice job, you answered my question. I like how you answered my question, right? But then you're also going to say, you told Mommy, you said, I want milk. Can I have milk, please? Oh, I need some milk. I need more milk, whatever it is, right? There are all these ways that we typically ask for things, and it's not always just I want. So be thinking about that as you're doing this strategy, and as you're doing these five strategies, be thinking about that, and try to mix it up. And not just in these strategies, in all of your modeling and all of your self-talk and parallel talk, be thinking about multiple ways that you can kind of mix it up to increase that flexibility and increase variability in your child's language repertoire. Okay, so those are the 5 strategies in kind of an academic, teachy type setting. And now I'm going to show you kind of hands-on. I'm going to incorporate my kiddos. Hopefully this works. Hopefully I'm going to incorporate them and bring them into this process to kind of give you a more hands-on look of what this might look like. Take a look. Okay, guys, welcome back. So we've done kind of the theory talk and talked about the 5 strategies, and now I've enlisted some help from my own kiddos, and I'm going to be showing you kind of some hands-on ways that you can work this in to work with your kiddo by either bringing in another parent or a partner or even an older sibling. So what you're going to do first, remember we are going to be doing the direct teaching for what we want to see happen. So we want to have her answer the questions, not repeating. So we'll be using some of the no repeating, answer the question, some of those verbal prompts. But then, like I said, we're going to also bring in the sibling. It's always important, as we talked about earlier, to educate the sibling on what the goal is, right? Or to educate the other parent onto, okay, this is what we're working on. This is what I need you to do. And this is how we're all going to work together. So Carson, today we're going to be working on requesting. So I need you to take the water bottle and take the milk, please. And if you could just offer the choices, offer it to Emmeline and say, do you want milk or water?
Do you want milk or water?
Okay, so Carson, ask us again, Carson.
Do you want milk or water?
Our turn, time to answer. Do we want milk or water? You answer. So then you would take a moment, work with her. It's tempting during this phase to get kind of silly, and if she does repeat, we don't want to turn this into a game as far as the repeating. So, the tendency, because you've got her here on your lap, it might be to, no tickling or no repeating, and working some tickles are fun, but we really want to put as little attention to the repeating as we can and focus on what we want to do. So do it again, Carson. Carson's turn.
Milk or water?
Our turn. We've got to answer. Do you want milk or water? You answer. Which one? Tell me. Milk or water? Okay, and then you wait for her response. And like I said, you're incorporating the physical cues. It's his turn. It's our turn. You answer. So we are together. We are a communication partner, but we are one together. And our partner is whoever you've brought in to help with this. This might also be a good time that you'd want to work in some picture exchange. If you have a digital picture of the water bottle or a digital picture of some milk, and you could work on exchanging. It's very hard, and this is why I encourage you to bring in another partner. These are things that are hard to teach any child, right? If she's facing me, if I'm working with Carson, let's say, and she's not here, and I'm working with Carson, even on things like you and me, give it to me. Well, how do you teach him to say, give it to me? Because for me, he is you, right? And so it gets confusing. So these things are always easier when you can bring in a sibling or bring in a partner to help you. And kind of like I said, one parent gets with the child, that's the target child. One parent's going to be here working with and through this child. But what we don't want it to be is we don't want it to lead to what we call in the field, we call it facilitated communication. That's where I choose for her and I say she wants milk and she's forced to drink the milk. Well, that's not a choice, obviously, right? So we want to really follow her lead. Let's do it again, Carson. Carson's turn.
Do you want milk or water?
Which one? Do you want milk? Our turn, you answer. Say, I want milk. Can I have milk, please? I'm thirsty. I need some milk. At this point, if she was to push away or to refuse in any way, pull her head again, you really want to be sensitive to that and then model the language of refusal. Oh, you don't want it. Okay, say no thank you. Yeah, tell mommy, say no thank you. I do not want milk.
No,
right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I do not want milk.
That's right. So you would encourage her to then use the language of refusing or the language of protesting. So a lot of language that can be elicited in this little activity. And also, again, think about that rule of threes. You'll notice I modeled, I want milk. Can I have milk? Milk, please. I'm thirsty. I need some milk. I need a drink. Multiple ways that we can model the language of requesting right in the context of this routine. Okay, so like I said, guys, I hope this was helpful. I hope it was helpful to kind of learn the strategies up front and then kind of see a modified version of how it could possibly play out in your home. If you have questions, please put them down in the comments below or shoot me an email. I want this to be helpful, and the only way I feel like we can really truly do that is through that interaction. So speaking of interaction, if you haven't already, go over to Facebook and join our page over there. That's really where I hope to build this community, right? This idea of us all kind of coming together, like-minded moms and dads coming around this area of speech and language development in the home, and I want you to be a part of it. In that same way, if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel, click that bell icon. That's going to send you notifications every time we upload content. So guys, I hope this has been helpful, and I hope to see you next time here at Lingaroo, where language comes to life.